Hello fellow leggers, you're joining us for another Anybody Have a Map, episode 7.
Episode 7, Volume 7.
Volume 7, can I get
Talking
this
about
out?
volume, you've been very loud, dear.
Oh, sorry.
Are you ever excited to be joining our
I
fellow
want to get
leggers?
this out right
Okay.
now because I think we left it too late in the last video.
Okay.
We need you leggers to like this video because if we hit a certain amount of likes, we will sing for you.
No.
That's what we've committed to.
We don't need you to like this video,
We
guys.
need you to, I need you to like this video,
Somebody
fellow
wants
leggers.
to show off is what we've got, what we're
No,
sort
we
of gathering
haven't.
right
Our
here.
leggers want to see it. With our last video, we came close, leggers.
Yeah, we
got,
said-
I think at this point, 76?
As of right this second when we're filming this, 77.
77, okay, and we said that if we'd get to 100, then we'd sing almost like a carpool karaoke.
More of a la Jane McDonald is what I'd say. Cruising with Jane McDonald.
More Jane McDonald, I think.
Yeah.
However, we did that very late in the video, so I think if anybody got bored with that video and turned off, they would have missed the opportunity to know what was going on and know they needed to like.
You're making a lot of excuses. Maybe, and I'm saying just maybe,
Maybe no
they
one.
just don't want to hear me sing. Like, that could actually be a thing, you know.
But give it one more try.
So what are you saying?
Can we giving it one more try? What are you saying? I'm saying we roll it over again.
Okay, so are you saying this video needs to hit
Yes,
100
please.
likes?
Yes, please.
Not
Lego
go
Simon.
back to the other video?
No, that one's done and dusted.
Okay.
We're on episode 7. We're into the future.
Okay.
We're done with number 6.
So if this video gets 100 likes, are we just going to carry on with this until it gets 100 likes?
No, should we
Can
finish if this is the
if
deciding one?
If this one
This
doesn't
is-
get 100 likes, we're not James Corden / James McDonald.
James,
I'm
we're
gonna
not James
portmanteau.
McDonald.
We're not James
Or
McDonald.
Jane Corden.
Or Jane Corden.
Okay.
Okay, I can live with that. But you know, we've got some new stagey tea to spill this time around. We don't have to keep drudging over the past.
Well, I'm just thinking maybe last time we left it too late to the end. That's what I'm saying. That's why I wanted to get it out there.
Okay.
So now it's out there. I can say, how you doing, leggers?
Yeah,
Thank
how are
you.
you?
Hope you're well. Thank you for joining us, and thank you also for your comments, which blow us away all the time.
And like I say, we do read every single one of them, even
Every
if we
single
don't
one.
get the chance to reply.
even if they're really long.
Yeah, even if they're really long. And I mean, sometimes size matters, because this one, we do have a very, very long one actually, which I cannot now find. Phil.
Hey, Phil.
Oh, not Phil. I'm saying
Not
Phil.
Phil. Oh,
As
you
in
want
do
me
some
to Phil?
talking.
thought you-
Jeez, this is going to be a long day, guys. I'm really sorry about that.
I thought you meant like Phil was going to give the comment.
No, we
You
don't.
want me
We
to
don't
Phil?
have a Phil.
Well,
if
I'm
your
gonna
name's
say-
Phil, leave us a comment, because apparently you just love Phil.
If you want me to Phil, I'll tell you what we're up to, leggers. As usual, we're driving to the theatre.
Yes.
This evening, we're off to see a press night of, can I say the show? It doesn't matter
Yeah.
in terms of sequence. Joseph!
Go, 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 Joseph! And the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Which
Quite a
I've got
long
mixed
one.
feelings about.
Not quite as long as title as Adrian Albert Mole, aged 13 3/4, the musical. Sue Townsend, Adrian, that's a very long one.
Adrian
isn't it?
Albert Mole. Is that his
Yeah.
middle name?
Yeah.
Adrian Albert Mole. I didn't know that.
Is that not on the thing? Yeah?
No,
Oh,
just
it's
Adrian Mole.
How do I know it's Albert? I've never read it.
Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat is one heck of a title. There we go. There's a discussion point. Long
Longest
titles.
titles of
Yeah.
shows. So we've done Adrian Mole and Joseph. What other shows have a really exceedingly long title?
I'm thinking how to succeed in business without really trying.
Don't give
It's
them
a
all
bit
the
of an
answers.
epic.
Let them have a think
Well,
about
I'm
it.
thinking I've got a Phil.
Okay.
I'm feeling with
well,
Phil.
I just want to quickly say thank you to Estella Fairbanks, who commented on the last video that
Do I need to fill anymore?
No, I'll just
okay, we're
take
going with
over.
the
I'll
comments.
pick up from here.
Okay.
Who stands our merchandise? Because
Stands
we had
our
branded
merchandise.
T-shirts. Got to thank our good friend Trina Robinson, for sorting us out with that logo.
Thank you, Trina.
Making it print worthy. So thank you so much for that. Those T-shirts are good, aren't they?
Closed question, aren't they?
I'm asking
Yes
you.
or no? I love them. I think that anything branded, yes. Do I still need to fill again, or have you got a comment?
I've lost the comment, guys. I've lost the plot.
Merchandise. If we were to put out merchandise, what merchandise would you be interested in? Apart from, we did have an idea about our business cards.
Don't sell that yet. I want to get that a bit further along yet. But watch this space, guys. We are going to try and find a way to help you address bad behaviour in theatres.
We've got a strategy.
We've got an idea.
We've got a strategy.
We're working on it, okay?
All right, then.
Reese, I found the comment. It's from Reese. That's not me telling you to fill in a different language. Reese. So Reese said that they saw Sharon D. Clark twice in Caroline or Change, who blew him away both times and he adores her. Only experienced one show stop, so we talked about that, and that was at School of Rock. The young man playing Zach Mooneyham,
which is the key guy on the guitar,
correct,
right?
went to do a knee slide, fell forward on his face, hurt his leg, broke the strings on his guitar, and still managed to continue to the end of the number.
What a legend.
What
kids,
a
you see,
legend.
they're resilient.
They are. You drop them on their heads, they just bounce.
I told you, kids are resilient.
They absolutely
Adults hard to work with.
Yeah.
Kids, they'll do anything you tell them.
He was then replaced by the understudy within 5 minutes, just for the final 10 minutes of the show.
Oh, I hope he was okay.
On another note, I think it's time for that show to leave the West End. Controversial.
What?
It's not been there clogging up houses as long as some shows. I mean,
that is controversial.
There are much longer running shows like the Mousetrap, right? Is
Okay.
that ever going to close? We've never seen it. It
Two
might be
reasons
great.
why
You
I
love it, you love
disagree
it.
with that point of view. Firstly, it's a family show, and there's not that much out there, and I really like the fact that we have a family offering, as a lot of stuff isn't that family friendly. Secondly, it's a great show.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
It was
it's a
brilliant.
great show. Absolutely.
That's all I have to say.
They've said they need, and to be fair, it would be a great venue for this show, so I can see you thinking. They said they need Starlight Express to go into that venue.
Controversial. Okay, so which is your favourite? Which is better? School of Rock or Starlight Express?
School or Starlight? Comment below.
School
Surely
or
there's no
Starlight?
doubt. There's no doubt in anyone's mind that School of Rock has a better storyline because it has a storyline, right?
Yeah.
Like Starlight
I wasn't a
Express
big
is
fan of Starlight.
bonkers as far as. I mean, was there? You know how the Beatles did a lot of LSD? Did Andrew Lloyd Webber go through a similar phase?
Cats, man, cats
Yeah.
on
Imagine
stage.
if there were cats,
Like,
and then
fighting
there's
with
trains,
dogs.
like
And
you
there's
know,
trains.
You just need
in a child's imagination.
I think he's done some LSD. ALW does LSD. It's like that song Initials from Hair. You know, the A-D-A took the... I'm not singing.
There's there's an urban myths there, isn't there, about Andrew Lloyd Webber coming up with these ideas. There's a drama there, I think, a stage adaptation. However, you are replacing one kids show with another kids show, so that may be more acceptable. Okay, we're moving on.
Yes. They've said seating, this is still Reese, for a play they like to be close, preferably smaller venue. But for a musical, if the sound design's done right, they don't mind sitting further away, but they can't sit further away than the middle of the dress circle, as they'd be squinting the entire time. I mean, have you had your eyes checked though, Reese? Because if you're squinting, I do worry about you might get headaches and migraines. Maybe you need some glasses.
Do you know, do they still do those
No,
rubbish, do they actually do anything? Like, they take your deposit of, is it £1?
Yeah.
Well, it used to be £1 back in the day. I don't know how much they take you.
And it's probably about 30 quid now, isn't it?
You have to contactless,
Yeah.
like, or order in advance because it's so expensive. I remember putting the money in, often in my early theatre days, having a good look, and nothing changed.
Yeah, like you'd hold them up and then you'd be like...
is anything
What?
going on? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I've given up a long time
Those
ago.
opera glasses, I believe.
Opera
they're called.
glasses.
Are they a load of crap, is we're asking you? Are they as rubbish as you remember?
Yeah.
Also, they've said, however, being close up to a big spectacle of show isn't ideal either, because they couldn't have sat front row for Bat Out of Hell, even if they did have a great time. I couldn't have sat front row for Bat Out of Hell, even if I did have a great time. Well, I think the problem with Bat Out of Hell sitting that close is it was such a big show, and the Dominion stage seems to go...
It's vast.
It spans from like
Huge.
7 dials to Waterloo, doesn't it? It's like that length. It's absolutely massive.
It does. You want
So-
to be mid-stalls at least.
I'll tell you where you want to be for Bat Out of Hell, in my opinion. Somewhere else. That's where you want to be for
You didn't
Bat Out
have
of
a
Hell.
good time with Battle of Hell.
I did. The more, like, I think we gave it a 3 at the time. But the more I think about it, like the more I've grown to dislike it. That's a discussion point. Is there anything that you either liked at the time and now have grown to hate? Maybe it's overexposure. Maybe it's you've seen it too many times, it's just lost its magic. Or conversely, is there anything that you hated at first but now like? You know.
Ooh, what, a bit of a grower.
Yeah.
Not a shower.
A grower, not a shower.
Yeah.
Musical grower, not a shower. Hashtag for this episode, isn't it that? Bloody hell.
So I guess you've talked about the show that you've hated more.
Yeah.
What show would you say you've loved more as time has gone on then?
I would say perhaps Sweeney Todd.
Sometimes Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, but I don't think at first, because it's, and I think we'll come on to this in one of our topics we're going to discuss today in a little while, but I didn't like him.
Sweeney Todd we're talking about?
I didn't get Sondheim for a long time.
You still have issues, but anyway.
Sometimes. I have less issues now than I used to, but it took me a long time just to sort of warm to that style or understand that style. And I think Sweeney Todd was one of the first Sondheims I saw. So as a result, I hadn't really been indoctrinated yet. So I grew to like it as I sort of became more comfortable with Sondheim.
Okay.
Generally. But yeah, I think that was something that wasn't instantly like, I was like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever. Oh, I wasn't like that about it.
But it's grew on you since.
It has grown on me.
Okay.
I mean, we could carry on with Reese.
Reese got more to say.
Got a lot to say.
Come on then, Reese, let's keep going.
Something Reese hates is when theatres get greedy and have such large sections of premium seating, i.e. Tina and Hamilton. Because it's then just the whole middle section of the stalls, right? Not just a couple of rows.
I mean, I just hate it when people are priced out in general.
Yeah.
Pricing us theatre lovers out of enjoying what we love. I have issues with that. Unless it's a real restricted view on the side or up in the gods. Yes, I agree. What else does Reese have to say?
Reese also says never been to West End Live, doesn't appeal, couldn't be doing with the queuing and standing, but if there was a completely separate event where shows and groups had bigger slots, it was treated like a festival with stalls, food trucks, meet and greets, that could be fun and they would pay to go to that. Now there was this controversial last year, there was meant to be like a West End thing, wasn't there?
Oh, there wasn't it? A West End festival. What was it? A musical theatre festival or something, and people. It was a huge thing.
Like TheatreCon.
TheatreCon or
which
something
turned
like
out
that.
to be a bit of a con.
Bit just the con.
Yeah, just
shortened
the con part
it to just
of it.
the con.
Just con. But
things
usually it sold tickets, didn't sell enough of them. The whole thing got cancelled.
Yeah, it's usually down to poor planning of they have an idea first and you think if you book it, people will come. If you sell tickets, then you'll be able to get the people on board, but then which comes first, the chicken or the egg? And then before you know it, you don't get the people. The event isn't going to be what you think it is, and you've got to give it back.
Let it go.
And by which time people have planned their days, sorted out their accommodation, their travel.
That sucks, doesn't it?
Made the time to come, and they're just left short, thinking, oh, what am I going to do now?
Yeah, that does absolutely suck.
Which is a shame as well, because do they have an actual theatre con in, like,
that Broadway
New York?
con, yeah.
So it's a shame that we don't have that over here.
Well, they did say when they cancelled it, they would do it again this year. They would actually revisit it, but it's now July.
December time, maybe?
Yeah.
And
it hasn't been announced yet, so
who knows?
Can't do with that.
Okay.
Let's go on to another comment. Let's go on to one by Coptic Stew, who said, keep West End Live free and keep it in Trafalgar Square, but add big screen relays across central London. So have a screen in Leicester Square, Covent Garden, on the South Bank. Let people watch it from where they are. Spread them out a bit.
Yes, now that's not a bad idea.
Just so you can catch it wherever you might be. You don't have to queue if you don't want to. You're still going to see the performances live, but not directly in front of you, but a relay.
That's
Let's
no
give people
brainer.
the choice.
Well, I think more to the point, it's like West End Live is there to promote West End theatre, and all you're going to be attracting is people who are passing Trafalgar Square. Whereas if you can beam it out to the different parts of London, then whichever tourists or people who are in London are passing by those tourist areas will also get to go, oh, what's that? Oh, I'd like to look at that.
If the lovely Julian Bird from Salt is watching this,
which of course he is,
and decides to do that next year, we will only take 10% because we'll
obviously
give
split
Coptic Stew the credit, but we'll give 10% as agent fee, right?
We'll take
because we've made those
agent
connections,
fee.
haven't we?
We have. We're so
what we're
there.
saying. 10%. You're fine. But yeah, I mean, it's a great idea. Also, we had no idea what Lilian was in the last review, and many people have told us that it's a play by Molnare, and it's the play to which the musical Carousel is based.
Every day is a learning day.
Yeah, gotta
There
say,
you go.
I've seen Carousel once, saw a touring production many years ago with Sam Cane
Okay.
in the lead role. And Billy,
Yeah.
is it Billy Briggs?
Perhaps.
Something like that. And thought it was dull, really. I mean, there are a couple of decent numbers. I just don't know if I can be bothered with those ballets. They always just bloody...
Do you know what I think it is?
Like
I think
that in
it's
Oklahoma.
it's all about the production. Go and look up. Is it blow low, blow high, da 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 da, blow high, blow low? Or is that the song from Carousel?
Sure.
Of the Tony Awards.
Blow Gabriel Blow.
No,
No,
that's
it's
Anything Goes. But it's the one from Carousel that they did at the Tony Awards a couple of years ago. That staging is amazing. So watch that. If I was to see a Carousel that had that degree of imagination and technical dance creativity and ability, I think that would make the show. I think that's what it is. You've got to make
I've just
those.
seen not a great production of it.
I think that's it. You've got to.
Maybe.
These numbers need to be like, wow, that was good. So
I think that brings us really neatly onto our first real topic of today. I mean, we've already spoken for a quarter of an hour.
oops,
but
got to be
whatever.
quick then.
There's a movie of Carousel.
There is
There
a
was
movie
a
of
stage
Carousel.
version to begin with,
Yeah.
and then it became a movie musical,
It did.
and I've not seen that either.
Right.
But what are your favourite stage to screen movie adaptations? And I talk about this because we have a new West Side Story coming up.
We
Steven
do.
Spielberg.
Yes.
Also, interestingly, they've just announced a Broadway revival of the show. We've only just had one, but the stage show is going back to Broadway at the same time. Maybe they're
Okay.
hoping to capitalise.
There's so
you know
much
how
I'm
Chicago
thinking.
won't go away.
Okay. There's so much I'm thinking already. So firstly, can it not also be like film to stage? Because I'm thinking I love Moulin Rouge,
Yes, but you've not
but it
seen
hasn't
the
been a stage
version.
show.
But it is now.
But it is now. But I love that as a musical film.
Okay.
So can I include that as a musical film, or does it have to be staged?
No, I think the stage needs to come first. And in my opinion,
limits it so
in my
much.
opinion, there have been a few examples of where it's been bettered on film, and the
That was gonna be my second point.
glaringly obvious one is The Sound of Music.
Sound of Music and West Side Story. Should we
My
talk about
advice-
Sound of Music
well,
first?
My advice to anybody considering staging the stage version of The Sound of Music would be don't. Just don't.
Too
okay?
many nuns.
I promise you.
Too many nuns.
I promise you that no matter what you do with it or how brilliant you think it is, you are going to disappoint 60% of your audience.
Even
You
if they are the parents and the grandparents of the kids.
Yeah, and I mean, sales point of view, it will sell. But if people love the film and then go and see the stage show, the overwhelming feeling they are more than likely to feel is disappointment.
Because it's not the film. They adapted it for the film and it just works. It's smooth. The narrative is different. The songs are in different places.
The film is beautiful as well.
It's
to
great.
look at those iconic Austrian scenes, the hills, Salzburg, God,
Yes.
all of those beautiful places that
Julie
they used to
Andrews.
film. Julie Andrews giving the performance of a lifetime.
The songs are good.
completely believable. The journey she goes on and how she gets that across in that film, from that innocent, naive nun to this hardened woman at the end that's had to take a huge amount of responsibility and leave things behind. It's just amazing, guys. And like I say, we've seen it on stage and it just pales in comparison.
Can I throw another one in then? Again, West Side Story,
Mm-hmm.
I think I absolutely love. Went to see the stage show in the West End. Not a big fan.
Okay.
And that was the original Jerome Robbins choreography as well. It performed
Well, it has
well.
to be, because I mean, you
He
have to
puts his
pry
stamp.
that out of his whole estate.
And rightly,
you know,
rightly
fingers.
too as well. But it just wasn't the film. The film they did a really good job of in terms of the narrative, the choreography, capturing that choreography in a beautifully cinematic, moving way, which you just can't get, I guess, sitting way back in a theatre.
I think.
So I'm excited again about what Steven Spielberg, I was
Yes.
going to say Sondheim,
No, he's not
Spielberg is going to bring to West Side Story.
I would say what's interesting as well, actually, I do feel a little bit shortchanged by a lot of movie musicals because they dub the voices on.
Not all of
Well, the ones that they do. Like, a lot of the time they do that. Not all of
When
them.
you say they dub the voices on,
The
do you mean
singing
pre-record in
voices.
the studio?
No, somebody completely different. So
Okay, that doesn't always happen.
It happened with
It
West Side
has
Story.
happened, yes, it has.
So West Side Story.
What is it, you cunt face?
Thank you.
So
But that happened in West Side Story.
it did, but only
You
with
just went
one
back to Sound
character.
of Music then.
I did, yeah. We did. Because it was the same
but-
actress, wasn't it?
No.
The same actress who says that line was the one that did the voice for Maria. So there's a link.
Oh, okay.
So I'm sure that's right, isn't it? Correct me if I'm wrong or right. I'm
They
sure it's
will.
whoever plays Mother Superior, didn't she do the voice for
Singing voice for Maria.
Or have I
West Side
got that
Story.
completely
Do you know what?
wrong?
I bet that's completely wrong.
But I'm sure that's
I
what
love
it
the
was.
fact that you've dreamt this. You've heard it somewhere. Something somewhere.
I've obviously mixed something up
Probably.
somewhere. I can't remember what on earth I was going to say now.
But
So
it doesn't happen all the time. But I just think if you see a live stage version, at least you are hearing the sound that is
Well-
coming from that actor or actress, right?
Well, I'm going to say that doesn't happen all the time. You're right. It has happened sometimes. It happens quite often, I think, in Disney. In Disney films, they'll get
What,
an
in
actor.
animated Disney films,
Yeah.
those drawings aren't really singing.
No, they'll get an actor to play
the-
the speaking voice,
Yes.
and then a different actor to do the
Judy
singing
Coon,
voice.
Pocahontas,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And also
all of them,
within
Jodie
that,
Benson, lots of
Les
them.
Miserables, the musical film, I think the big thing about what they were doing is that they had to sing live.
Yes.
And they put a lot of effort into production.
Or in Russell Crowe's case, sing live.
Man, did he kill that
Sing out,
movie?
Russell.
He killed that movie, and not in the right, and not in the good way.
No.
But in the way that something is left to die and be run over in the road.
Or throw himself off a bridge, in his case.
Not a moment too soon. And that's not easy to do.
What, to ruin an entire movie with one performance? Not an easy thing, Russ. Well done, mate.
It's
Nailed
not
it.
an easy thing to do, to capture live sound in film, which is why
No.
they don't do it usually.
But Spielberg is. He's
Is
doing
he
that
doing
with
it
West
as
Side
well?
Story. No,
Oh.
they're actually singing it, so he's doing a...
They're doing it live a la Les Miserables
Yes.
movie. Oh, well, good for him.
Yes.
Oh, exciting.
Technology's moved on, right?
Which means we can't talk about The Greatest Showman.
Okay.
It's a musical film. Are you saying I can't talk about that?
No, it's never had a stage adaptation. I don't think that's fair to talk about. I would say, obviously, guys, and I've said it before, big fan of Reefer Madness. Can't make you sit down and watch it.
Should I watch it, guys?
Should Leg and
Should
Nathan
I watch it,
Reefer
Leggers?
Madness?
Reefer
Do I
Madness?
do I have to spend every Sunday from here to eternity saying, "Can we watch Reefer Madness?" And you going, "No."
That's usually how every Sunday starts, actually.
It is.
Reefer Madness is like a little
It's
puppy.
today the day.
Reefer
Today's
Madness
the day,
today?
right?
Yeah.
No, it's not. Today's not the day. Today's never the day. So yeah, please convince him that we should do that, because that's a great movie. They added extra songs. The cast is phenomenal. It's Alan Cumming.
I don't really have much to say.
No.
Okay.
Also, I would say I love and fell in love with the movie adaptation of Hedwig before I'd seen the stage show.
Oh, trying to stick the sat nav on. Sorry,
Now I've
Leggers.
seen them both.
Just need to
Just realised
make
I don't know
sure
where we're going.
we're going in the right direction, in the
Yeah,
right place.
Absolutely.
Hedwig, did you say?
Hedwig, yeah.
Hedwig and Angry Inch. Now, I disagree, because I've not been a big fan of the film. Get a bit bored. However, when we saw it on New York...
On New York?
On New
On
York.
Broadway?
It was
On
on
Broadway
New
in
York,
New York?
plumped on there. When we saw it in New York, Broadway. On Broadway? Is it in New York,
No,
on Broadway?
Yeah, well, you could just say on Broadway.
On Broadway,
Yeah, well done.
wherever the hell it was.
Yeah.
Neil Patrick Harrison.
Neil Patrick Harris.
That one.
God, this is going very well.
I was then converted, but to the stage show.
Okay.
I don't think I'd get the same again if I was to watch the movie. I wouldn't be like, wow, it was literally the stage show, the performance, the staging, the narratives. That is what did it for me. I don't think I have a favourite. I think my favourites are probably the ones you've talked about. I do love West Side Story. I think that's a classic. Going old school again, Fiddler on the Roof was also not only is it one of my favourite films, my favourite musicals, but it's also one of my favourite films. I think it's absolutely brilliant. Not so much up there. Haven't enjoyed movie adaptations that Lloyd Webber has done of Joseph. Half-assed adaptations.
Movies, really,
Cats,
are they?
half-assed.
No, it's not. It's a filmed stage
Which
show.
then
with the
brings me
weird
to
effects in it.
The Phantom of the Opera,
Okay,
which
yeah.
was a full, big,
Proper
full-on, proper film. And didn't do it for me. Have you seen it?
I've never seen
Simon?
it, but I know it didn't do it for a lot of people.
Yeah, it didn't do it.
Interesting. I also very much am a fan of the movie adaptation of Chicago.
I like segments of it.
Great.
I think again there are great cinematic sequences, but
I mean, it's all about the dancing on the stage, whereas it was more about the narrative and the plot in the film.
there was a narrative in the plot.
Yeah.
Must have passed me by. I thought it was pretty thin.
No, I think
That's my problem with
For
Chicago.
me, the plot comes alive in the film more than it does the stage show.
Okay.
Personally, we were going to talk about something else, but we've just completely
Have we run out of time?
Yeah.
How long have we been going on for?
26 minutes so far.
Oh,
I don't think it's time to
ain't
start
nobody got time for
something
that.
else.
Okay.
So I mean, I don't know where we're going to go here.
Anything more on movies?
Anything more on movies?
I'm trying to. I'm really restricted by
Upcoming
the
movies in the Heights.
Oh yeah, well, like that's a really good point. What shows out there would you want to see turned into a movie?
Yes.
Everybody's talking about Jamie.
That's
It's coming up as a
becoming,
movie as well.
absolutely.
So like, there's stuff in the pipeline. What stuff is in the pipeline, and what stuff would you like to see? Come From Away. Aren't there rumours of that being turned into a movie as well?
Well, if you can make some money, yeah, sure.
Well, no, Lego Simon. It's not just about making money. It's also about whether it's going to make a good piece of drama. Like, will it make a good? Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
We need to be over there.
That's
Just
what
saying,
I'm
just make sure we're in the right lane, guys.
Okay, we better wrap up because
We
I
had
need
better
to
wrap
start
it up.
looking
We
at
need
the
to start
sat nav
concentrating,
because
'cause
literally we could end up north instead of central London.
I hope not, because we're booked in for this press night, so let's actually make it there. Anyway, we love you guys. Please hit subscribe if you want to see more of these rambles, because, you know, we'll keep doing them for as long as you guys want them, and if you stop watching, we just won't bother anymore. So let us
Please
know you're
like
there.
if you want to hear us do carpool karaoke. If not, we will take it as a message. Obviously not.
Yeah, stop. We won't bang on about it forever. We're the Breaker Leggers.
And we'll catch you again soon.
Bye.
Bye.